You are now listening to the Lexicon Podcast. Now, let the show begin.
Yeah. Life is a game.
Life is a game. Welcome to Lexicon Podcast. This is episode 32. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing fabulous.
I'm doing sickly.
Oh, she's still sick, you know.
There is no alcohol in Liz today, so.
Yeah.
No, only Gatorade.
Gatorade.
It's only me.
Gatorade.
And as always, guys, today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/Lexicon Podcast. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. Thank you so much to Audible for sponsoring this podcast.
Thank you, Audible.
You're really going to make that a thing, aren't you?
I am. I didn't do it right now.
Yeah,
Don't test me.
Yeah, you did. You did it.
No, I didn't do it again.
Oh, okay. You mean at the end of that?
I'll do it at the end.
Oh my god. If you guys listened to the last podcast, we talked about video games. So if you guys want to go back and, listen to all that and stuff like that, you guys can definitely do so. But in there, we also talked about games and jobs. We didn't really go into professional gaming and what the players do and all the rigorous stuff that they do and stuff like that and how they make it a job. That'll be like a whole other topic or anything like that. But we did talk about jobs. And then that started making me think of the first jobs we've ever had. And then, of course, we started talking about it. And I said, hey, save it for the podcast. Which is going to be, like, a lot of topics are now going to be that. We're hanging out. Save it for the podcast.
Yep. Write it down. Angie, where's your planner?
And as always, guys, if you guys want to get the next episode early, you guys can go to patreon.com/Lexicon Podcast. You guys can support us at $1 or more. At the $5 tier, you guys can get the audio podcast early, a week early before the general public. Or, of course, you guys want to just support us, just go ahead. Anything definitely helps. We definitely appreciate it. But we're going to start off with the first job.
Selling fruits.
Now.
Fruits of our labor.
Oh, God.
No,
the puns.
Just fruits.
Okay, so before you actually jump into fruits, you weren't selling at the end of the freeway pass, were you?
No, I wasn't.
Wait.
That's scary.
Were you selling at a market?
Native.
Were you selling at the swap meet?
No.
So how were you selling fruit, Liz?
The black market, like what kind of fruit you want? You want those blue strawberries you see on Instagram? I got you.
There's blue strawberries on Instagram?
Yeah, but it's fake. I'm sure it's fake. I never seen
like the cotton candy grapes.
You know what?
Those are real.
The ones that they sell in Sam's Club or whatever. Yeah, I heard of those. I'm like, God, I wonder, have you tasted them? No, I wonder if they taste like it.
It didn't hit me that you said blue strawberries. I thought you said blueberries. Like, I didn't even think about blue strawberries as a thing.
No, there's like some pictures rolling around sometimes when you see it, like, double tap for good luck.
Oh, those stupid shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make that a thumbnail.
Send this to someone who needs money.
I'm making that a thumbnail. Hit that like button for good luck.
Oh my God,
hit that subscribe button for good luck.
Facebook, you freaking suck for that.
Yeah.
I can't fucking stand
Hit
it.
the like, get the prayer.
I deactivated it for that being the primary reason. I couldn't take it anymore. I'm like, look, my cousins are on Instagram. Shout out to my cousins.
It's okay. This YouTube page won't be deactivated. Hit that subscribe button. Smash it.
Hey.
Sorry, that's what they say.
Fun,
YouTube is a lot of fun because we're on YouTube, so we're fun.
Love YouTube.
You can subscribe. You can hit the subscribe button. You can share with your friends.
So we'll stop shop for everything.
Okay, enough sellout mode. Enough sellout mode.
We're not selling out just yet.
Yeah, we are. You hear the ad in the middle of the podcast. So how were you selling these fruits, Liz?
Our neighbor, he used to find ways of getting us to do things besides, being little troublemakers. So he would get boxes of fruits and distribute it for all of us that were living in that, apartment place, and to go house to house to sell it.
So he pimped you out?
Pretty much, but he would say, like, let's say you get like a little box of fruit, and this fruit will cost $2 if you want to buy it, and then $1 for us and $1 for him. So split it in the middle. So he'll send us the little minions to go and sell. But in a way, it'll put money in our pockets, and it'll keep us out of trouble.
Yeah. Okay.
So we go and knock.
I was worried for a moment. I'm still kind of worried.
I mean, technically, child labor laws.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But it is under the table, so we can't say anything because we never.
Yeah.
You know what they say? You see something, you say something, but I never saw it.
But the thing is, too, different times, man.
Very
different times. Yeah. You still see kids that do that. You know, those people that have kids selling candy.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not for a fundraiser.
Oh, yeah. Dude, we'll talk about my favorite schemes in a little bit. As far as like what I've seen lately, one of the favorite things that I see and that I always be like, oh my god. But continue.
Okay.
Yeah, so he used to do that for us in a way to keep us out of trouble. Let's see, that was one of the first, I don't know to call it a job.
One of your first gigs?
Because it was one of my first gigs to get money.
You got money for a service, right?
Hey.
Did something? Okay.
Yeah, there was that, and then my dad also, he used to have a shop, so he would have us be the little salespeople there whenever he wasn't around. So that was another thing, but I was a little older by then. I was like 16, probably about 16, and I'll help him out and he'll pay us.
And what was your first official job?
Where it's like, can you please bring me your social security card and your ID, please?
Do you need sponsorship to work in this country, or are you legally able to work in the U.S.?
No, my first job screwed me over really hard, like bad, cause
don't name any names.
Yes,
obviously.
I went in with a social security card. However, when I went to go do my taxes that year, they're like, "Yeah, your social security card doesn't match your W-2." Yeah, and I took it back and I told them, "Do I mind you? I worked there for 3 years until I quit and then eventually went back. 3 years, and those whole 3 years I had to go and correct them when my taxes were around the corner. Each time, because he never fucking fixed it.
Shit.
Yeah, but I worked at a little mom and pop 99-cent store. I thought I was doing really good in the beginning because I'm like, oh my god, money for me. And then if you guys went back to like the old podcast where my mom, I don't know if I told, yeah, right? I said it where she kicked me out.
Yes.
Okay, that's why she kicked me out, because of the little money. So because of my first job, I got kicked out and came back home. Hey.
Wow.
Yay.
Life lessons.
Life lessons.
You can name that little mom and pop shop.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it?
I just know how to say hi. 안녕하세요.
I don't know what that is.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's still how you say it.
I think she's making up words now.
안녕하세요. It's like hello, how are you, or hello, good morning. So shit like that in Korean.
Yeah, I never knew this.
안녕하세요. Shishi.
So that was your first job, selling fruit.
Selling frutas.
Were you successful at selling fruit?
I don't remember, but back then chips were $4, so if I could afford chips, I were fine.
Chips for $1.
They were.
They were though.
Now they're $2 for a fucking $1. And then the bag of chips that were like $1.49 like a year and a half ago probably are like $1 and some change. It's more.
Yeah, it is more now.
I'm just like, you guys are paying more for more air?
Yeah.
It's cheaper to buy that big bag than it is to buy the little one.
Yeah. Totally is.
Screw you guys for trying to get us back.
Totally agree.
What was your first job, Angie?
My first job was proctoring SATs at Fremont.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that technically was, because I know I've said it before. Victoria's Secret, nothing against them. Gave me 5 good years with like giving me.
You worked there for 5 years?
Yes.
Dude, I had no idea.
No,
Nothing against
I
it.
know,
You know.
but I mean, they flew by simply because they were flexible with scheduling me and school. I think that's why they flew by, because I was constantly busy. So whenever I wasn't at school, I was at Victoria's Secret. You know, on the weekends, I was at Victoria's Secret. Moved up a little bit, but you know, I never stayed. I never was just one thing. Those 5 years, like things would happen. I would eventually become a cash wrap lead, so that was kind of fun. Customers are a whole different thing.
They're on a different level too.
And I love lingerie still to this day. So I mean, come on, it's still Victoria's Secret.
Now, you say customer is a whole different thing. We've all worked customer service jobs, so I am, because of that, I am especially nice to somebody who's doing really, really good.
Yep.
But when somebody's being a dick, I'll call the manager.
Yup.
I'll be like, oh, okay. Who's your manager?
Oh, take this survey? You're damn right. I fucking take this survey.
Yep. But if they are doing really well, I do the survey. I actually ask them, hey, what's your customer service number? I've done that, and they'll be like, why? And I'm like, no, you did really good. I just want to make sure that they know that, because most people don't call customer service for bad things. I mean, for good things, they only call for bad things. So when somebody's giving me exceptional service, like, I'll even call the manager right then and there and tell them, hey, this person is doing a really great job. It might not mean a lot to that manager first, because they're like, I don't care. But obviously, like, when they remember it. Yeah, they'll hear it, and they're like, oh, shit, yeah, that person is good. So. Yeah. And at the end of the day, that person that helped me out, because I took time out of my day to say to the manager, it's a little thing, but it's a lot better than me saying, okay, bye.
It totally is. As someone who would be behind a register and helping clients, it does make a difference. When someone goes out of their way before they leave to tell you, oh, hey, thanks for helping me out. Or when you see them later, and they come back and they remember it, that's pretty exceptional. Yeah.
And that's how you get discounts.
Not from me, though. No.
I'm not saying everybody.
No, I know, but it's true. Like, that when I was there, I couldn't.
Because usually if you talk to the manager and you let them know about the person doing well, usually the manager will be like, oh, you can get a discount.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, if a manager does it, I couldn't do it.
I didn't say the person.
Yeah. Pretty cool, though. Retail has this weird... retail's a whole different beast. But my first actual, oh, shit, I got a paycheck was proctoring the SATs at Fremont, which I got through Luis, because he would do that. I think
I never knew that was an actual job.
Well, I mean, it's not a job.
I mean, it's a paycheck.
Yeah, it's a paycheck, but I mean, you get paid. I don't even remember how much. It's 3 digits for sure.
I always thought those were volunteer. That's what I mean.
Nah, man.
That's crazy.
No, I mean, it's extra cash and shit, you know. So I did it a little bit after I got the Victoria's Secret job. And then when Victoria's Secret became so much of my weekend that I stopped doing it, but I did it a couple times. I did it probably like about 5 or 6 times. Yeah, proctoring SATs at Fremont. Just got it through Luis.
Was it like a whole long hour job, or like short hour periods, or like how was it? Like, was it like a whole day thing?
A Saturday, several times a year.
Okay.
A couple times a year. 2 or 3 times
a
year.
So you got paid one paycheck for all the time?
That day.
Oh, for the day. Okay, that's cool.
Just the day.
That's not bad then.
I remember signing in and, doing all that, but I don't remember anything else besides that.
Did you ever catch anybody cheating?
No.
Damn.
No. I remember the last time I proctored, and this is how I know, again, that I can't teach, is because some girl kept asking questions about the test and shit, and I was just like, just fucking take the test. I'm not your teacher. I'm here to just watch you take this and make sure nobody's fucking cheating and everything.
You're right.
But that's how I knew I can't fucking. You got another question? I can't fucking answer this shit. that's when I knew that was the last time I did it.
The only time I proctored test was I was volunteer for it though. MedCorps, USC MedCorps, like the medicine program. Yeah, I forgot why we did it. It was for something though. Like we got discount or something for something. But like it was just all of us. We just wanted an excuse to go, and we'd be proctoring the test. We'd be putting out the Game Boy or the DS and we'd be playing. But like eventually, every once in a while, obviously, like we would look up and stuff. Like we would walk around.
Here, I would read.
Most of the time, we didn't really play, but we were like, "Oh, we're gonna play," and then eventually we'd be like, "Okay, we gotta walk around, make sure nobody's cheating or whatever." But it wasn't like a whole big thing, cause like SATs or whatever. So that's why they were kind of leeway about it.
Have you guys seen the way that people cheat? With like putting a little band-aid or something, and then you like pick it up, and then there's like this long.
That's old school way.
Oh yeah, and ¿cómo se llama? Un acordeón. I know them in Spanish.
Yeah, my favorite one has always been the Coke bottle. Oh yeah. On the label, on the back of the label. Yeah. Like this was white, whatever. They had it there.
Yeah. I know about them. I never cheated though. So.
I mean, I ain't cheating, stealing. You're from the hood. We didn't do it though.
I honestly don't know if I ever cheated on cheated, like went out of my way.
Bro, we had a biology test passed around.
Oh shit!
What are you talking about? We'll say that for another.
I push out those memories so that I feel so.
I never used it. I just kept it. I just kept it going.
You had a teacher who used to help us cheat.
Nah, that's not helping you cheat. That's a teachable moment. What are you talking about?
Wait, what? For what though?
Not cheat, but he would say like pass around the test and then eventually give you the answers.
But was it for like the class?
Oh, it was for the class. It was just for his class.
This is
but he wouldn't waste his time. He's just like da 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 da. He'll just like finish it with us.
I'm like, because I was like, what was that shit in high school? The Cassie.
Casey.
Oh yeah.
Casey.
California
That
exit
bitch.
exam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The California high school exit exam.
I fucking hated that shit.
remember-
And then those other standardized testing, the fucking No Child Left Behind tests.
Oh god, that's a lie.
The last year,
That was the
senior
worst.
year,
Yeah.
didn't take it.
Oh yeah.
I did not take that.
That's
shit.
crazy.
I fucking like put my foot down, and I think it was with Odegaard, and I told him I'm not taking it, and he was like, "That's fine." He really was like, "It's cool, I don't really."
I do. That was so annoying because then it became literally everything became about testing,
Yeah.
teaching about the test.
And that's when I think that's why I felt like I was woke for some fucking dumbass reason,
Whoa.
which I totally wasn't. But I remember
Stay
being,
woke, Angie.
Yeah, and I remember being like, I'm not gonna take this test, and he didn't have a problem with it. He literally wasn't like, oh yeah, whatever, blah, blah, blah. He supported me. He's like,
They know.
that's fine. He's like, yeah, that's cool. I get it. I totally get it. And then he didn't let me take the test.
Was it the KC? I remember taking the KC, and obviously I'm not gonna say the person's name, but there was people around me that were on their last heel, like the last year, having to pass it.
Oh fuck yeah! Because you had 2 tries, right?
Yeah, like you had like, or no, it was like 2 or 3 or something like that. Yeah,
Oh,
and then so I passed it on my first one because it's pretty simple.
It is.
But again, a lot of people don't have they don't retain anything like certain people do. Some people are not good at tests. You
Yeah.
know, I'm not really good at tests, to be honest. And then this person's like, I need to pass. Like, can you help me? And I was kind of like, sure, I don't care. And like, certain answers were given to them, but hey, you know what? If you graduate, I don't care. I don't care
Yeah.
about it's not like it's gonna affect me. But yeah, like those things are dumb. Like, how are
They
you gonna
are,
stop
though.
a
They
kid
really
from
are.
graduating because they can't take a test? Which is they're supposed to see if they actually know their stuff. Like, I think it's dumb. You're like all day brain dead trying to take
It
this
wasn't
stupid
until my
test.
senior year in college that I realized like I'm way better with short answer essays because I had one of like my favorite professors ever, and that's how she did the test. She's like, yeah, I'll give you multiple choice, but I mean, how am I really gonna test you?
Yeah.
In a college environment, if you can't reiterate or give me explanations and examples of what I taught you, and that's exactly what she did.
That was business law for me.
Yeah.
Like business
was
law.
theory. I fucking love
my
theory.
class was midterm and a final. That's it.
Yeah.
You didn't have to show up. Whatever. Like, it's all up to you if you wanted to show up or not. If you just have to show up for the test, he would give you the dates ahead of time, and then you just showed up or not. And then he obviously the blue book, and then here's the briefs. Like the business law briefs, here's the contract work and the torts and all that stuff, and just do it. And
Yeah,
then,
that kind of shit I'll nerd out about. Yeah.
I love that class.
Yeah. Multiple choice though, fuck that shit. Fucking hated it.
Yeah, I for me, like, I can do math, but testing in math has always been one of my worst things. I don't know if it's because I get nervous that I forget formulas or whatever, but again, I can teach it. I know how to work it and everything like that. But I think not till I got to college when I started going to tutoring that I understood how I take tests.
Yeah.
And then again, before I didn't know how. Like, I would try to do it fast, and it's like, no, in math I'm different than I am in English when it comes to taking tests, which is insane because I never knew how it was. But that's cool. I don't know that was one of your first jobs.
Yeah,
Proctoring tests.
proctoring SATs. That was my first paycheck, and I remember like going. And when I was signing out, I told them, like, this is my first paycheck. And they were like, congratulations. It was like a big deal. That's a big deal. But for the person that was signing me off and giving me that paycheck, it was pretty cool. Because even she was like, you should frame it.
Don't put it in the bank. It'll be worth more later.
Yeah. I think I took a picture of it.
Did you take a picture of your first dollar that you made after fruits? I'm serious. This is a serious question.
No, I did not.
What
take
about
a
your first
picture.
paycheck?
Negative.
How did you feel when you got your first paycheck?
Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't remember the last time I had this kind of money that I made on my own.
Do you guys remember how you guys celebrated your first paycheck?
No, I don't. I think I really don't know.
No, you don't have to. I'm just asking.
Yeah.
By getting kicked out.
That was your first paycheck?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I gave my mom a little bit of money, and then she
She was
freaking
like,
kicked me out.
I got a job now.
Yes.
And your mom was like, get the fuck out.
I paid her some cash, and then I went out. I wanted to go out or something like that. Point is that my mom did not approve of me wanting to be out. She's like, you're not a fucking adult yet.
Listen to the last podcast. The latest,
Yeah.
the one of the podcasts.
Yeah, man. Good time.
What episode was that? 28? 7? 5? 6? 5?
Why don't you guys listen and let us know?
Start at number 1.
We forgot.
Yeah.
We're getting old. I'm sorry. That's cool.
Yeah.
I used to like doing the math, the one where you would finish the answers and then you would fill in, and then in the end it'll turn into a picture. No?
You're talking about like the actual
Math?
homework stuff? Oh yeah. The filling my numbers.
I think so. The one where it's like, okay, the answer is 7, and then you go into the box, and wherever there's 7, you kind of just highlight or you fill in.
Yeah, that's
No,
like the
no,
little,
I would still want. I want a booklet of that.
Yeah,
They're fun.
color by numbers. That's what it's called.
Colored by numbers.
Mhm.
Remind me later on.
I want just to connect the dots.
Oh yeah, I remember
There's no
those.
math involved.
Yeah, you go from number 1 and
You
you
just
go.
follow the numbers. I used to love that shit.
Oh, Lexicon Podcast, Connect the Dots, adult version.
Oh, that's hard, man.
I'm not doing
I'm a
that.
graphic designer.
I'd be down.
That's very flaky.
I don't got money to
Like
pay for that.
Like that.
I got a shampoo for that.
So do I.
Head and Shoulders.
I had a doctor.
I use it just because I love it.
For me, my first paycheck was for training. My first job though was, well, this wasn't a job as much as volunteer work, I guess. At the beginning, the first thing I did was I used to work in the computer labs when I was elementary. Like I talked about that before. Like I was in the computer labs and stuff like that. One of the first places I saw porn. My first job though was, I was like 15, 16, something like that. I don't remember the age, but I was managing a video store.
Managing.
Well, managing because the guy would come in, open up, and take off and bounce. And just, he taught me how to do the stuff, and then he would go with his daughter. Like his daughter had barely been born too, so he like took off and like would take off and stuff, and he just leave the store to me because it was pretty simple. Like people would come in, check in, like I would like say, hey, how much you owe? Here you go. Like this is what you do. Hey, you owe money. Like you want to rent a porn? Go for it. Here's a black book.
Remember, God is looking.
You'll have a little Flanders.
I would be like,
messages and
I would be like, when you come back, can you please tell me what that one's about? So when somebody asks, I can recommend the best ones. Thanks.
And can you like Sandy wipe
Would
it
you
for us?
pass?
Thank you.
Would you pass the black light on top of it before you touch it?
Nope.
Oh shit! I remember once me and a few friends, 2 carloads of friends, went out to some clubs. We got, obviously they closed. We took off to a strip club, and then eventually made our way to an adult store because we didn't have anything else to do. And we went into one of the back rooms where you go and do your business. And we just were curious. God, they're fucking dirty. We were just like, you just walk in there. We walked out. I'm like, fuck, I feel like I just caught something. Shit, I feel fucking pregnant. I feel like there's so much going on. It was disgusting.
Who the hell is going to a strip club? I haven't even been to a strip club.
I haven't been either.
That'd be part of the Patreon.
I remember.
We have a podcast at the strip club.
Girls
Hey,
feel
you know
more
what?
comfortable with girls.
You know what?
That's true, though.
We'll interview the strippers. Tell them how they make money.
For real.
Hey.
If you want to know.
Entrepreneurs.
Hell yeah. They make good money.
Yeah, they
They really
do.
do. They really do.
They really, really do.
I've never
Shout
been to a strip club.
What would
either.
be like if you were a stripper, male stripper, and a female stripper? What would be your song?
Say that for another podcast.
Shit.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I gotta think about it.
that's
Put it in the notebook.
Because I'm like,
I know
I'm
mine
wearing
already.
this,
I know
but
mine.
I know it won't be this.
I know my song. Simple. I already know my song. So
Nah, man.
write down.
I don't know.
It's another
Stripper
podcast.
I'll have to think
You know
about that
what?
one.
The next podcast we do,
Stripper song.
one of the next 2 podcasts we do is gonna be your stripper song and your
Your male
whether
your stripper name.
wait, your stripper name, stripper song, and whether you're gonna use a pole or not.
Hey.
Because it's a whole thing if you're gonna use a pole or not. It's a whole routine. People who like the strippers who use the pole are freaking strong though.
Yeah, they are.
That's a
Core strength like
core
a
workout, yo.
motherfucker. When I was a little younger, I'm gonna say a little because it was probably like 2021. I actually thought about it, like maybe I should do like pole dancing class as a form of exercise.
Nowadays, it's like really popular.
Yeah, and there's like competitions and shit for it too. And I kind of regret not doing it because damn, I would have been badass. I would have had like a nice core by now. Instead,
That
I
core
just
workout is
fucking-
crazy.
Those women are strong as fuck.
Yeah, I always like seeing when they do like the whole walking thing
Yes.
and everything, and I'm just like,
I can barely get up in the morning. I can barely get up out of a chair. And
I roll-
these
I
bitches
roll-
are, like,
I literally-
rocking on the side of like a pole.
I literally roll out of bed, Angie. Right? I literally roll out. We have a bed on the floor because we don't want our kid to fall off when he sleeps with us. So like I literally roll out of bed so I don't wake him up. I'm like,
He does it.
Yeah, because that way I don't have to like get up and like move him and stuff. So that way he doesn't wake up.
Because we had a foam mattress, which those are fucking awesome. If you move, that person next to you is not gonna feel it for shit.
That's me right
Oh
now.
yeah.
But we had to move
the,
to a different type
It wasn't
of
the, what was it, the one that where they're jumping in the wine, the commercial? It's Tempur-Pedic.
Yeah.
It wasn't that, but it was close.
They're a good equivalent.
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, but so we had to move into like a box type of shit, so kind of it's not the same. But
Yeah, but that'll be a good next podcast.
That's good. I like it.
Hey.
That was not my first job though.
He wasn't a stripper.
No.
He doesn't have the core of steel.
With this body, I don't think so. Unless it's like a beef or something.
Bear, you mean?
No beef.
Bear.
No beef.
For the gay guys.
Cause but I'm for everybody. So.
Rainbow flag. It's Pride Month. Woo!
Rainbow flag, U.S. flag. Everybody's welcome.
I'm surprised they haven't done like the U.S. flag and with each star being a different color, making it.
They've done the
I'm
stars.
sure they've done it.
They've done the stars, but not the stars being different colors.
There's an idea for Pride Month.
Patent pending. Liz's idea.
Hey.
You heard it here first. So yeah, like I used to just like literally just go in there, kick back, and watch movies all day. Like just and then as I started learning any retail store and stuff like that, you get stuff early before it's out because you gotta have it in time. You know, you don't have it the day of or everything like that. Like some people are like, oh my god, you got it the day of or whatever. No, you get it like 2 weeks early or whatever. Or you like even when I worked at a retail store, you got certain products early before they were out because you had to have them in time or you had to have so many because people were gonna buy them. You know. Yeah, so you had to get them early because you didn't know you were gonna have a rush, so they couldn't be late because deliveries weren't always when you opened; they were sometimes later and stuff like that. So we would have them early. So I would be watching movies all the time. Like obviously they were already out in theaters, but why spend money when I was just gonna see it and like and so he would leave and I would just like be there on my laptop or I would have like a console or something. Like he would have his PS like 2 or 3 at the time, whatever, hooked up to the TV and I'd just be playing or the game was on soccer games and I'd just be watching the soccer game. And the best part though was not anything about the job, but lunchtime. My mom would just walk over because I never said this. I didn't say this. I forgot to say this. It was only like 2 blocks from like where I live, so I was like cross the street, cross another street, and I was there. So my mom during lunchtime, I'd be like, "Hey mom, like I'm hungry. I can eat right now. It's empty. Like nobody's gonna come right now." She would bring me some like nice, freshly cooked food, some tortillas, some pollo, some like, nice home cooked meals as a lunch. Talk about the best shit ever. You don't get home cooked meals for lunch anymore, like freshly made.
Nope.
But that job, freshly made lunches every day, every time I worked. I was paid under the table too, so it was even better.
Can I say that your job was 2 blocks away? Mine was like legitimately 1 block away, and I was always fucking late. Always fucking late. Always.
We're like Ivan always late to school. It's like the closer you live, the later you get. Because you're like, oh, I got time.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, fucking time.
Yeah. So my first official paycheck job wasn't really a job. It was, but it wasn't. I worked for Beyond the Bell.
Oh.
Yeah. So like the guy that worked for Beyond the Bell, like he would come to the band class and everything, so he knew us, and he like me and another guy were looking for a job. He's like, hey, you guys should just come interview or whatever. So we interviewed, and then we went through the training and everything. But the one thing they didn't tell us or didn't really let us know is that we needed cars because we had to get to the certain places. And I was like, I guess I could take the metro there or whatever. But anyway, we went through the training and the pay was pretty good for the time because it was right at high school and I was getting paid like $16 an hour.
That's pretty good.
And I was like, holy shit. But I was never able to get after training. I was never able to get to my first location because I didn't have a car. I would be like last priority to get a location. So I never got one because I never had a car, which means I couldn't get there unless I took the metro and everything. And obviously they want people there on time and all that stuff. And I was about to start school, so they're like, we really couldn't get you anything, but you're still on payroll. And then every once in a while, like, they'll still send me stuff from there, and I'm like, I don't work here anymore. But like, they'll send me like their changes to like health benefits or like random shit, and then I'm like, I guess I'm still on the system if I ever want a job again or whatever.
Oh man.
But so that was my first paycheck, just to training, and I was just like, it was a good amount, like for like the few hours that I did the training.
Good, yeah.
For $16 an hour, I was like, not bad. and then after that, my first official job, I was a security guard for Target.
I remember that.
I used to work assets protection. That shit was fun. I miss it. That was one of my jobs I definitely miss. It wasn't too bad of a paycheck. I was like 11, 15 hours, something like that, which is better than minimum anyway at the time. Yeah, because minimum was like still like $8
at that time.
Hour.
Yeah, at that time that was way above the minimum.
Yeah, so it was really good. I used to work a lot of overtime there too. One of my first memories there was like actually like getting there. My first week, they're already like on a case, and they were actually getting an employee.
I'm imagining like a whole sitcom.
Dude, like, so we had to see.
I'm sorry.
We had to see.
It's probably this, but I'm like seeing you and seeing cameras.
We had to see. We had the six screens.
Paul Bart, whatever.
Paul Bart, yeah. The mock up. Oh man, they used to like that movie had come out, and I was using
looking at you and just keep going.
Because I had to like go down the parking lots because we had to like protect like make sure the parking lots were okay, whatever, like deter people. So I had the actual Segway stuff, like, and then I had my little casco and everything.
Damn.
And they were like fucking mock up, like whatever. Paul Bart mock up over here. I was like, dude, I don't care. I'm getting paid. But like my first week I was there. 6 screens, CCTV and everything, but they were all trained on this one girl, because she was actually like, what she would do is like she would ring up people, and then she would ring up a gift card, and then her friend was next, and she would give them the money with the gift card and stuff like that. So I remember that at the store that I worked at, it was like a high budget store or whatever, like as far as stuff. So like if you got like small stuff, we would go out there like, hey, how'd you like your experience at the electronics section, or how was that memory card that you were looking at?
So
was it the pricey one?
Shrink?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
damn.
I don't want to say like the actual
store,
terminology because some people don't know what it is.
Yeah, when I used to work, we had high shrink for a moment, and then it kind of built up when I was leaving.
Yeah, so like I technically, we went to training and everything to see how to get people and stuff, because we couldn't touch people like physically, like we couldn't
until they're outside the store.
Until I got my guard card and stuff. I had my guard card, like I had like my everything, like my certificates for everything to touch people. No, I didn't have to do all that. I didn't have to do the rush hour thing like every time.
Hi, Alex. Target. What was it?
I don't know.
What were you? Security?
Assets protection. Get it right. Assets protection.
Alex, access protection.
It's okay. She's not drinking, so she's learning her words.
I'm still on their medication.
Yeah, so I wasn't security. I was assets protection.
Wow.
Okay? Get it right. No, it was cool because like it was my first job, and like nobody else would have given me a job, but like I applied there, and then the guy called me. He was a really cool boss, and like the people there were really, really cool, and then. Yeah, we're still like checking the girl out, and then she like did her deed and everything, and then we already had the cops waiting for her, so she went on break, and then they called her outside, and the cops were waiting for her to take her ass to jail. And then that place, we would always have cops, because every time we captured somebody, like, or we got somebody, they was over a certain amount, so it would they had a reason to be there to take them away. So the cops would be like, you guys should just come work for us.
For real.
You guys are always getting people for us, and
that's cool.
Yeah, one time this guy was like really high, man, like came in or whatever, and he would go to like the TV section and just try to put it in the car and just try to walk out with it. So he would
just a TV.
Yeah, like a Blu-ray and a TV. Yeah. So he tried it a couple of times, but he like when every time he got to the front, he never did it. He would like leave it and then walk out, and then we recognized like the car that was coming or whatever. And then one time, like we saw him, and then we're having a meeting, and then like in the everybody was watching the cameras, like different cameras we had, and then it passed by, and then somebody said, "Hey, isn't that the car?" And we're like, "Oh shit, yeah, it is." Like like that's the car. So we're like, all right, like oh shit, let's go. Like so everybody I was on the cameras. We had another guy, like we had a Target has on the covers, by the way, just because everybody has like asset protection on the covers.
I had a feeling because I get followed sometimes.
Yeah, that's just because you're being followed by strangers. That's not.
I take when I go to Target, I take like 2 fucking hours or so.
Yeah, they probably do. So if they just see you like pick stuff up without looking at the price, they'll.
Yeah, because I usually
do that. But I'm not stealing.
Yeah, they'll follow you. Like I remember one time, like right now you said that some Charlito was like was trying to steal pens, and we're like.
Dude. Pens. You gotta do our eyebrows, bro.
We literally no. It was man.
That microblading be too much.
We literally went up to him like, "Come on, dude, you really gonna steal pens? Because it's nothing to us, like we're really gonna steal pens." And he was like, "I don't even want your fucking pens." And like,
we're like, defensive, huh?
We're like, "All right, cool, bye."
We would catch people with bras or like panties. You're like, "I don't even fucking want these pens. Then why the fuck are you taking them?"
Yeah. And then
I had somebody try to fight me for 5 cents.
Oh my god.
Oh man. Oh yeah, they're fucking brutal.
They must have been really rich then.
I was literally gonna say that. I was like, was it that girl? Nah.
So like this guy, the car comes around and we're like, oh shit, all right, like everybody, like you guys already know what we're gonna do. I had 2 undercovers. Like one undercover was on the bench on his phone, but he was really talking to us. Like I had him on the phone, another was on the walkie. We had people with the things that post at the front. We're like, okay, leave your post, like leave it open, because like they would walk and see them and get kind of spooked. Yeah. So we're like, just leave it. And then the rule is you can't go after anybody until they step outside. Yep. Mm-hmm. Because that's when they're trying to steal something. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they, Target has like a Starbucks or whatever. People want to go buy that before they go pay. I don't know why you would do that when it's at the other side of the register, but people do. But until they step outside, that's when they're really stealing something. So anyway, like the people in the front were like, okay, leave the post. They leave the post, like leave it open, so he knows he has a free range if he wants to steal or whatever. So that way, like we can capture him.
Damos chanza.
Yeah. So like he starts walking and he goes for it, and then he like turns and walks around again, like kind of scoping it out, making sure nobody's really there. And then eventually, like he walks towards it, like okay, he's going, and I'm like in the TV following him. We need the camera for the actual evidence and stuff. So I'm like making sure I follow him. Get one with his face, get one with the back and the TV and everything. Get him walking out, and then he's about to walk out. I'm like, he's about to walk out in 3, 2, 1, and he like steps outside. I see like my undercover like jump up and like grab him, put him against the wall. I like run out of the office. I like run outside, dude. I like run outside because I had to get the merchandise. Because the thing is, the TV's just there. Anybody could have just taken it. So like I ran over, got the TV, took it to customer service. I'm like, here, hold this. And the girl was like terrified, like what's going on? Because like all of a sudden you see all of the access protection just like run out of like I run out of the office. Like my boss runs out of the right behind him, and then like the other guys are already like fighting, like struggling with him outside, and they put him against the wall, and then like we like eventually drag him in. Like the cars come in, and I'm like, just keep driving, dude. Like the cops are already coming, and then eventually they're like, you shouldn't have done that, for like security. But I was making sure I grabbed the stuff, put him in, whatever, and then we had him inside handcuffed and everything, and then he's like super high, dude, like super high on like heroin. And then one of my coworkers was like, dude, you're fucking strong, man, like telling him like, dude, you're giving me trouble, man, and I work out. Because like one guy was like super fit and everything. They were like workout, like the undercover guys were like workout buffs, and they're like, dude, I was fucking having trouble with you, man. And the guy was like, yeah, but he was super high.
Yeah, that should give them some super.
That's what I'm saying. When they're high, that's that's a whole different beast.
Yeah. So that was one story. That's one story of shit like that. I have a couple of more. I only worked there a couple of months because then eventually I was gonna go to school full time, so then I left. But I do miss it. It was fun. It was fun. I got to judge people, and it was my job.
Yeah.
It's wrong to say that, but I got to do it. I remember one time like this old lady walked by. I'm like, hey, you guys gotta check it on camera. I was like, old lady. I'm like, I don't know. She just gave me a bad feeling.
Yeah, I agree.
She goes into the baby section, opens up her purse, and just start putting baby clothes inside. And I was like, I told you, I got ego, motherfucker.
It sucks though because you never know why they're doing it, but it's fundamentally wrong. Just don't fucking steal from people, man. Yeah. That's one of my things. Like, just stealing is just so. That's fucking petty as fuck, man.
Yeah, man.
It's so petty.
But I don't know why it is. No. So you get that. I guess people call it that justice boner. It's like you're trying to get people like, hey, that's what it is. And I remember one time I was clocking out for work, but like I was still at the front, and then all these 4 girls walked in, and I was like, check out these 4 girls, whatever. And then I was like clocking out, and I was looking at the cameras, and then you see them start stealing, and I'm like, I'm gonna chill until they capture them, and then I'm gonna go home. And then it took them like 20 minutes, and I was just there waiting until they're gonna do something, and then they started finally doing it. Like, okay, and then they got them, and then I'm like, all right, time to go home. Like I wasn't done for calling them out or whatever. Yeah. Because you feel bad. You feel bad for like judging
you really
people,
do. I mean, we would not follow any people around, but I mean, a lot of the times we were very aware of those who would come into the store and try and steal from us, and it sucks because even as an associate, you don't want to follow people around, man. It's fucking, it's really weird.
And at that point, it was my job to follow people around. So like, there was times like I would go and I would have the red and khaki, and I would take off my actual like utility belt because I had like my walkie-talkie, my handcuffs and everything. I had to take it off and follow people and act like I was just a regular employee, but at the same time I was actually like keeping an eye on them because like they have certain aisles lit up and certain they really don't because nobody really steals there. So when people try to walk through there, like it was my job to be like on the other like I was scanning, but really I was keeping an eye on them and stuff. But it was a lot of fun, man.
I remember when I used to work and that's how you know that some people steal because they kind of have to. Yeah. some guy that used to always come into that store. Really cool guy, down to earth, would always talk to us, always buy just like one or two things and walk out. He had a daughter that was sick, and the manager right there was really cool with him until he noticed that he was acting a little odd. And sure enough, after I checked him out, he was trying to walk out. He's like, hey, come over here. I want to ask you a question about blah, blah, blah. Just trying to make conversation. And he's like, put down whatever it is that you were taking. He was taking, like, socks and things like that.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying. You never know the circumstance, but it is fundamentally wrong. Like, you just don't steal. It's a business. People who run the business need the money as well.
It sucks. But that's also the one place I learned not to give money to people that are asking for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there is the place that I learned that people that were acting like asking for money made good money. There was one guy in particular who would always give the same story to people, and then I would see like on a Saturday, think about it, like 20 people are giving him $1 an hour. That's $20 an hour, no taxes paid, and he's giving the same sob story. And then I would see him at the end of the day come into Target with a wad of fucking cash and just like really good money, like try to change it for hundreds, like trying to ask us if we can change it. We're like, dude, we can't. And then just go and buy clothes and stuff, and then just go and he would walk across, and we would follow him on camera. He would go into a TV, he would go into like a nice car and like take off. But he would be like in dirty clothes.
Yeah,
and stuff
it's crazy.
Like
It's fucking crazy.
Dad told me once too. I forgot who was it. Somebody I used to work with. She's like, yeah, I don't give money to that one guy that's over here. Blah blah blah. She's like, yeah, because I fucking seen him in the damn gym.
Yep.
God.
Yeah.
And then speaking of jobs and different things like that, don't forget that this podcast is brought to you by audible.com. Thank you for the listeners of the Lexicon Podcast. Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. Now, the reason I say jobs is because one of the recent recent audiobooks that I listened to was the Steve Jobs autobiography. Was it an autobiography? I don't remember if it was like the autobiography or whatever, but it's the Steve Jobs one that everybody was listening to a while ago, and I finally picked it up on Audible, and it's really crazy to see how this guy's mentality was as far as like business savvy, because he would use people for his gain, and like listening to like how he was going through stories, how he pretty much didn't really care about his daughter when she was born and stuff, and like eventually like obviously they had a good tenure, but the way people talked about him, whether they hated him or they liked him, like just listening to this is like you can't put it down. So I'm at work just listening to it, and like I'm halfway through the book already, just listening to it and going through it. So
man.
Yeah, like for me, like, and I sit at a desk, I'm able to like listen to the music or podcast or Audible, and I usually just put it on, and then 30 hours, that's what 4 days of my work week, and it's gone, and like I don't even think about it twice, because like when I'm listening to it and I'm into it, like my work is like I'm just flying through it, so it's not bad. So I mean, Audible, I definitely recommend it. It's the Steve Jobs book. It's the one with him in the front, and he's like this or whatever. I think
with his turtleneck.
With his black turtleneck. And it's a really good one. Like I said, lately I've been into autobiography, so I already know the next one that I'm gonna listen to. So I'll tell you guys about that one later, because I like autobiographies and like and then documentaries and stuff like that. It's funny because I didn't get to that until I was older. Like when I was younger, I was all into like fantasy and like swords and dragons and stuff because of my nerddom. And then now it's like I like listening to people's stories, because I like learning from it, like, hey, what did they do, whatever, and stuff like that, or just the tenacity that people have to like make their business grow or anything like that. And don't forget, guys, to download your free audiobook, just go to audibletrial.com/Lexicon Podcast. Again, that's audibletrial.com/Lexicon Podcast for your free audiobook.
Awesome. Thank you, Audible.
Thank you so much, Audible, for sponsoring this podcast.
And thank you for downloading.
Yeah. Again, it was just like, I had to bring in like Steve Jobs and just the way he like had his jobs and everything. But
no, it helps so much that you could listen to these books without having to actually sit down and make time for them.
I like putting them on speaker sometimes. Yeah. Or like when I'm driving, just like
when I'm driving, that's what I listen to.
After I listen to the Lexicon Podcast, I put on the audiobook. Yeah, but for like when I was working there, like obviously like the different jobs we had, everybody has a different story, like the first jobs they got, and I was really happy that I got that job because I had no experience technically, and then for somebody to just say, hey, yeah, we'll train you, and I'm like a little pipsqueak at 18 or whatever, and then they're more than willing to like teach me the ropes and everything, and then like you can do this and this and that, and he was like, you can get promoted to this, you can do that in this much time or whatever. I felt like I missed out on a learning experience because it was a really good job, but obviously in my mind school came first. Yeah. So I ended up leaving to go to school, but I felt like this person knew how to teach, and that's what I felt like I missed out.
Good mentor. Yeah.
everybody that was working there, like they've been working there for like a couple of years, and they had. And then Target is always like super happy in the break room. Like the break room is super lit up. They have like ice cream Fridays or like cereal Wednesdays or whatever.
Oh,
Yeah.
all Targets?
I don't know if it was all Targets,
Okay,
but the
then
one I
maybe
worked
that's
at was that way.
exceptional.
I mean, I've asked, and people said that they do have some stuff like that. But the one thing I always noticed is that the posters were, you know how like the commercials for Target are always super colorful? The same posters are in the break room, and they're super lit up. Like the break room is super lit up. So it's like you walk in there and you don't feel bad. Like you feel like you're
It
taking a
sets
break.
the mood.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like the
A
sensory.
lot of jobs can take a note or two about
Yeah,
that.
because you go in there, you feel like you're actually like chilling because everything's super lit up. It's not like dim or depressing or whatever. Yeah.
But that's like a department store.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish I could say the same about Victoria's Secret, but I mean, it wasn't. Not gonna lie, it wasn't like that. But
I mean, when I used to work at GameStop, it was like that either. It was like
they
literally
did
a closet.
give me a good fucking break because I remember turning 18 and being like, okay, I finished my first year of college. Yeah, my first year of college. I need to get a damn job. Like, my dad can't keep just doing this to me. Love my dad, though. And I got that job. Well, I got that interview the same day that I went out to look for a job.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that was the last place I went, and I went because it was on the way back home, and I was like, I'm going to stop here and just ask if they're hiring. And sure enough, my former, not supervisor, just a former manager there is the one that was like, oh yeah, here's an application. And then I filled it out right then and there, and I gave it back to her, and she's like, can you come in on Saturday? And I was like, sure. So after that, I went home. I was like, all right, cool, I got my first interview, so I'll at least go to the interview. And I went and got the job.
That's cool.
Nice.
And that was really fucking easy. But I mean,
It's never,
I wanted it though.
Yeah.
I did, because I was like, of all places, if I could work at Victoria's Secret, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
And it was. Yeah, it was a fucking headache. But I mean, I was going to school and they worked very well with me. And at the end of it, when I left, it was kind of like cool, because at first I was like, I'm going to leave just like any other person that's left. But I didn't think about how long I was there. So they got me a cake, they got me a gift,
Yeah,
and
that's
everything.
cool.
So that was cool. That was cool. Shout out to Victoria's Secret.
Yeah, like for
being
me,
flexible with students.
like for me, obviously there at Target I left. But like when I started working in retail too, like I was there for a pretty good amount of time, and you learn a lot how to deal with people and like how you really are yourself.
Yeah.
And then it's a good experience like to work retail while you're going to school, because you know how to manage time, and you know, hey, like eventually, like for example, when I was working against GameStop, I was like an assistant manager or whatever. I started learning how to do schedules, and it was always the thing of like, I can't give everybody Saturday off or whatever, because then people want favorites. I can't give myself every weekend off, because then so I would work every Sunday no matter what. Every Sunday I would be working, and then I would alternate Saturdays off for people, and then sometimes people would get mad or whatever, like, hey, this person got next Saturday off, you got this Saturday off, blah blah blah. You see how it is. And if you guys want to trade schedules for this, I'll let you guys do it once or whatever. Like, you start learning different things from whether you're starting or whether you're managing somebody, because you said you were like leading the cash wrap and stuff like that, and obviously you've dealt with sales and everything like that too, like dealing with customers or dealing with people, like schedules and family things and stuff like that. It's like super crazy.
You just have to learn to roll with it. That's something that it taught me, that you work with what you got.
Yeah.
You never know. I mean, we had people that were moms, dads, and if they called out and it was a holiday season,
Oh yeah.
you can't do anything about it. You really can't. You can't. So you just go with what you got. You either call in someone else that might be off, that's willing to take the hours, or you roll with it. And then it taught me how to just be efficient, and it taught me a sense of urgency. I think that's why I am very rushed a lot now, because I just go like bam, bam, bam. This is all I need. I need to get the fuck out, because that's just how my mentality was at the cash wrap for such a long time.
Yeah, like for me, when I used to manage the GameStop and stuff, I would always work Sundays because people didn't like waking up Sundays and stuff. But I wouldn't mind, because I'm not gonna go party on Saturday. Like, I'll hang out with family, or I'll like I remember one time, like, I worked a Saturday night, took off to Palmdale for like my cousin's 15 or whatever. Was there till like 2-3 in the morning, and then like drove back, and then I went to work at 6 in the morning. But like, I would do inventory, so nobody else had to worry about inventory. So I would just go in there. I already knew where everything was, and then by the time the store opened was my lunchtime, I would take my lunch, come back and work a couple of hours with customers, and then go home. But nobody minded it, because they didn't have to wake up early. They didn't have to worry about inventory. Like, I did all that. Like, I managed it. So it's like, you got to learn how to balance like the ins and outs and stuff like that. So yeah, shout out to them for like working with college students.
Yeah, it really.
It's crazy.
Our employers during college, we were pretty fucking lucky. It's not as easy for some people. Yeah.
So, any good stories or like any good memories that you guys have from like those places? Like, not specifically one place or another? Just like anything good. Like you said, you had the cake when you left.
Yeah, when I left. But even then, I mean, I would move up without kind of knowing why. And I think it was because they liked me, and
How did that feel?
I don't know, because that kind of just happens to me. Yeah, it's a whole thing that I won't go into it. That's like a deep dive into Angie's brain. It's bad. But
that's a special secret Patreon only podcast. Yeah. I'm just kidding.
With a therapist in the background making sure I'm okay.
So how does that make you feel?
Yes. But no, I mean it was flattering. It made me feel like, fuck, okay, I'm doing something right. And that's what would propel me. I'd be like, okay, so if you see this in me, I must be able to do it. So.
What about you? What are any good memories?
Winning Six Flags tickets.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
How's that? I want to hear about that.
Won,
you didn't invite me.
I didn't know you. Well.
That's the story. That's the story.
I went with my coworker that helped me, so it wasn't that bad.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm like, hey,
so how'd you win the tickets?
Doing nothing now. Let's go. I won them by doing sales.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't like sales. I do well in them, but I don't like them. I don't like people.
I was once told I could be a used car salesman. Whether it's a good or bad thing, you guys take it for what it is. But
I just think about Fargo. But okay.
I've never seen Fargo. I heard it's good. But yeah, I've been told I could be a used car salesman. I could sell anything on the lot.
And a hand model.
Oh yeah, and they told me I could be a hand model. Somebody told me that.
Show the camera your hands.
Like George Costanza.
As a story for another time. And so, how'd you win tickets? Sales.
There was this Samsung kind of thing going on. First, whatever, if you win the tickets. Second will be $50, and therefore so on. So I ended up actually winning the tickets. Later on, I came to find out that all the sale promotions we were going on throughout the whole time that I was working for that fucking place, there was a prize at the end. Most of them did go to our store. Most of them didn't come to us.
Ooh. No names.
No names. So I won one thing when I could have won more. So that's the downside of it.
Have you ever seen Glengarry Glen Ross?
Yes. Always be closing.
That reminds me of
ABC, always be closing.
Oh, and
I love that fucking movie.
Who's in that movie?
Al Pacino.
Who else?
And whatchamacallit? Who else? Alec Baldwin. Ed Harris. Oh man.
Don't say Tom Cruise. Don't say Tom Cruise. So, a little fun fact of this place that I used to work in, right next door, there was a medical shop. So every morning, for some reason, it would smell so much of weed in there.
For some reason?
Well, that's the reason. I don't know what they would do in the mornings. I don't know if they would wake and bake.
It's wake and bake. I was gonna say it's wake and bake.
Okay, well I'm innocent right now. So that happened every single morning. It would smell like that. So the first people that had the first shift would be in a room with that smell for like a cool while until it went away.
So you guys were all high in the morning.
Pretty much. It was a bakery right next door too. So we would go over there and get something to eat.
There you go. That's why.
I was actually talking about Kevin Spacey. I thought you were gonna mention Kevin Spacey because he was in it. I like Kevin Spacey.
I love Kevin Spacey.
That'll be a whole nother podcast.
That'd be like our Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey. Remember that time he went to the Oscars in that blue Tom Ford? I do.
So did you ever get high on purpose? I mean, but yeah, Glengarry and Ross.
That's a really good movie. It's
yeah, it really
movie, is. I mean, but it fucking holds up. It's good.
And that's it. That's something a lot of people always remember. Always be closing. Mm-hmm. Did you ever win any more stuff than that, or just the one Six Flags one?
Just a Six Flags one.
Did you ever try for more, or after you?
Actually, I did. I won a gift card to Nordstrom's once too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You could have won more though.
No, well, that's the first time I ever walked into a Nordstrom's. I'm like, holy shit. Okay, never mind.
I love it too. Expensive though.
Yeah.
The last thing I bought there was Spanx.
Nordstrom Rack is not bad, and the online is not bad.
Nordstrom Rack is not. I bought 2 pair of furry shoes.
That's where I bought my Queen shirt.
Oh, how cute!
It's a shirt and it's Queen, but like an actual card of Queen. Like it's
that's cute.
What's his name? Oh my god.
Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, Freddie Mercury. Jesus, I'm sorry. and it's in a queen card, and he's like at the top. Like
in his little pose.
Yeah,
Oh,
and like I walked into a Nordstrom once, and somebody's like, "Oh, you bought that at the Nordstrom?" I was like, "Yeah," and they're like, "I miss out on that shirt." And people every time they tell me like, "Where did you get that?" As I'm in a Nordstrom, I'm like, "Here," and they're like, "What? We sell those?" And I was like, "Yeah, just check your online store." It's because people don't like get out.
Yeah,
of
but
retail.
even Nordstrom Rack is good.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, the gift card only allowed me to get like 2 things, and one of them was a scarf. Because that shit was too fucking expensive.
Yeah,
It's
Nordstrom is
pricey.
expensive,
It's very
but it's worth it.
Yeah, it is.
Unless you're Ivanka Trump, then you get kicked out. For me, other than the memories that I had of all that stuff, when I was working in asset protection, I quickly became a trainer. Like within the first month, I was like training other people and stuff because I'm good with like memorization of rules and stuff, and writing stuff down. So I was training other people, and then we had this one guy who, as the story goes, as he tells me, I never really validated it or anything like that, but I have no reason not to believe him. He used to work border patrol, and he moved from I think Arizona here to LA, and he was gonna get because he was getting positions somewhere else, but in the meantime he needed a job or something, and so he's working there at Target. And as it goes, the older people usually don't like getting trained by younger people, especially for something that they feel like they shouldn't when it comes to security. He was working border patrol. Who was a scrawny 18-year-old gonna teach an older guy about that and then make him wear a helmet when he's working the Paul Blart machine, you know? But I remember when I left, this guy that was giving me...
I'm making my way.
Yeah,
I'm making
segue.
my way to...
Fuck up.
You were like, I'm making my way to Sundays, Mondays.
Making my way downtown, walking fast. You know, fat is gonna get a copyright strike.
I know.
So like, you know, I was teaching him, and then one time he got really angry. Like he's like, "Wow, why am I doing this? This is so stupid. Like I don't have to use to run this stupid Segway. Like why? Like as a kid teaching me, like he got like frustrated or whatever because he wasn't. I forget what was happening, and because I was making him go through the drills, and you have to, even if you get them right, you have to do this so many times, whatever. He's like, this is dumb. It's so easy to write this thing, but like I'm like, hey, dude, I'm just doing what they told me to do, like the training, whatever. But he was, other than that, he was always a good person. It's just that one day he got mad, and I was like, look, dude, like, I'm not trying to say I'm better than you. Like, I calmed him down pretty much, like, hey, like, this is how it was. And he's like, you know, you're right, I'm sorry. Like, I should have taken it out on you, whatever. And then when I was leaving, like, and I was saying my goodbyes or whatever, he's like, what the fuck? Like, you're leaving, dude? Like, you were a really good trainer. And I was like, what the hell? Like, you of all people are telling me this?
Yeah.
And then he told, like, the boss, like, why are you letting him go? Like, he's really good. Like, he trained, like, he knows how to train, like, he knows how to do this stuff. And he's, like, really young. Like, he's really good for the da-da-da. And I was like, well, I'm just going back to school and stuff. But that, well, I'll always remember. Because, like, at first he was, like, super angry that I was, like, a kid teaching him whatever. And then when I was leaving, he was like, thanks for, like, teaching me. And, you know, most people won't do that. Like, or, like, go with kids and stuff like that. So that's always a memory I'll always have, like him telling me like, thank you for everything. And I was like, I didn't do anything, dude. Like I was just like doing what they told me to do as my job. But
I don't know how many times I said that.
Yeah. But it's crazy, you know, you remember stuff like that though. You know?
Yep.
So yeah, first jobs. I mean, we've had more in between, but that'll be a topic for another. I always say a topic for another day, and I'm sorry for you guys for saying that, but it's because the podcast is so young. And I know we have so much more to share, and I appreciate you guys taking the time and sit with me, and you guys listening, and us having this idea to share these stories. It makes it like good to be able to remember these things.
Yeah.
You know, because
and it's recorded.
Yeah, I want to look back and then
may be
like, oh my god. Yeah. Please, like years from now, if you're listening to this podcast, just remember I was a dumbass. But I always tried to do the good thing, and I always tried to do the right thing. You know, everybody grows up in a different way. So if years from now this is still going on, hopefully, like, you know, I'm not going to whatever, it's still going on. We still have a reason to hang out and chill out and stuff like that. I want to be like, hey, remember episode 32 when you were like grateful for being able to sit down and like have a podcast with your friends and your loved ones. This is really good. So thank you guys so much for listening. But as always, I always give them a chance to let them know where you can reach them. Give us your stories as well. You guys can send it to us, whether it be at the Lexicon Podcast at gmail.com or online. Where can they find you?
You can find me on Snapchat at Angie_NESS. That's Angie ANGIE_NESS.
Find me on Instagram under Liz_the Biz.
And as always, guys, you can find me on Twitter at exclusively_Lex. Of course, if you can support us for $1 or more, please go to patreon.com/Lexicon Podcast. Your money will go towards like upgrading our equipment as far as our camera or actual mics and making it sound better, look better for you guys. And at the end of the day, it just helps put some money in the pocket, gives us, a reason to hopefully in the future, maybe this will become a full-time job for us. You never know. But all support that you give us is definitely appreciated. If you can't support us financially, though, that is more than okay. Just let your friends know, hey, listen to this podcast. It's really good. It's funny. And if you're on iTunes, go ahead and leave us a 5-star review. We definitely appreciate it. We definitely appreciate you guys listening. And as always, thank you to Audible for sponsoring this podcast. And thank you guys so much for listening and being part of our family. See you next time.
Thank you, Audible. Bye.
Bye.